Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Arty's Wacky Weekend. This is the light version because we're without Arty. So with Arty not here, it's really light. Sorry, Arty. If you're watching from wherever you might be watching from, hiding in the background. So who all do we have? Hey, John from Schuylkill River Valley, and we have Andy, the hot dog pilot. Andy, order just put in. So you're good. Let's see who else. Jean Ricard, long time no speak. And that's it. Only 3 people here. Well, since we don't have that many people, we're just going to say goodnight, everybody. Take care. Oh, wait, Luma Moba is here. A new aftershave to please the cats. No, Luma, because I would not do anything to please the cats. It's mutual. They won't do anything to please me, so I don't try to please them. In fact, we now have a prescription for the one sick one. And, oh, yeah, you have to catch her, hold her, and force her to drink the antibiotics they want her to take. And you have to do that twice a day because vets. I'm just like, if you want me to hold liquid, let me just take it out to the lake and hold it underwater. Then I'll get all the liquid it needs, and then all the problems will be solved. I'm sorry, cat lovers. I'm sorry. That was mean of me to say. Doesn't mean it's not how I'm feeling, though. But be that as it may, and yes, Joyce is in the background. I probably should have put up one of my my virtual backgrounds because she doesn't like to be on TV while she is she doesn't like to be on TV. So, well, I'll put a different background up temporarily. Oh my God, very sexist. I'm sorry. I don't know where that background came from. I don't know how I got that one. I apologize to all ladies out there. Don't mean to objectify. But you know, sorry about that. So let's just let's try a different one. There we go. That's better. That's better. Funny thing is, it doesn't show up in OBS. Do not take that down. I understand. Yeah, lots of daisies, couple of daisies. But yeah, how is everybody? Hope you're well on that side of the screen. On this side of the screen, it's just been a little bit, it's been a crazy couple of days. Very, very crazy. If you didn't see the video I posted, I have bought a model train collection from a gentleman and his wife. And actually, it's almost the end of Oktoberfest there at Attila. See, that's the thing. Oktoberfest is actually the last 2 weeks of September, and then how many days into the beginning of October. It used to be in October, but they moved it forward decades ago because weather was warmer in September than it is in October. But be that as it may, yeah, it's been hectic because I worked out this deal where I bought this gentleman's entire model train collection, Herb and Nancy, and the boxes started coming in. There's 8 boxes. I've got 6 of them. The other 2 won't be here till like Monday or Tuesday. Actually, Joyce is fine with it. Joyce is very fine with it. She understood why I decided to buy the whole collection because I was going to just buy some trains. But thinking about it, I just thought it would save Herb hassle, and I would probably almost spend as much to buy what I wanted as, which is what I did. Like, I'm thinking about all the things I wanted and said, well, would X amount of dollars cover it? And he said, just take the whole collection. And so I put the first video up. I've actually made 6 videos already, and they're all 25 to 30 minutes long. Yeah. Hey, Marty's Train Shed. Good evening to you from cool but clear Toledo, Ohio. And hello to rail fans. Nice to have you in. But yeah, it's been so we're working on that, and then he's shipping the boxes. They're coming in. Anybody who follows my live stream knows for the first time I had a special guest running trains, their own trains, on my layout yesterday. And I've been doing a lot of filming and unboxing of all this stuff. And I don't want to show too much because I want the surprises to be in the videos to a degree. But speaking of which, there is our guest from yesterday's live stream. Tom, glad to see you made it home safe. Or at least I hope you made it home safe and you're not using your one phone call from jail. Yeah, it's been overwhelming. There are so many pieces. And again, there's 2 large boxes to come that have a couple of pieces I'm specifically excited about. And yeah, it's just, what do you mean bullshit? Oh, not actually, most of his collection is 2-rail. Now, the rolling stock doesn't matter because I can use that on a Miracle 3-rail layout. You can't use 3-rail rolling stock on 2-rail, but you can, of course, use 2-rail rolling stock on 3-rail. It's not an issue. But yeah, sorry, Luma. The videos have to have, but I do have a couple of things because I'm very excited. I haven't finished producing the videos, but basically I'm releasing one a day until we go to Gets, which is another story in and of itself. Hey, Randall, how are you? And that reminds me, I want to, will I be able to control paste here? Yep. Anybody wants to come up and chat? I am going to show a couple of special things. There's one of them here, although I don't have the power card yet. This is one of the things I was very excited about. This is an ICE3, but Herb had a gentleman take the red stripe, the normal red stripe off, and he put the German flag stripes on it, which I believe there actually is a prototypical prototype in reality that has the German flag or had the German flag on it. But when he showed me this, he told me he was going to do it and then had this. I fell in love with it. He was also going to do one that had the blue stripe, but I don't think he ever got to that. I don't think he ever got to doing the blue stripe. So that's, I still need the power card because things are packed and he didn't necessarily pack all the trains together. Most of the ICE3 here came, but the power card is not there. Randall, I'm going to leave you in the basement for a little bit. And and Jean Ricard's here. He's definitely staying in the basement. In fact, he's going to be in the basement. But I did want to share a couple ones that I'm really excited about that have not been revealed in the videos. In fact, these won't show up until video 4. But there's one I had some time this afternoon with all the other insanity. But I had some time and I came down here and I started working on some of the locos. So I have 2 locos that I have already got working, and they have been running. Well, the one ran in on my layout, but I've got it with cars. So I'm going to leave my guys in the basement so you guys can see this nice and big. But where do we want? Is it that one? But yeah, you've got this one right here. This is an Aero 1, late Aero 1, early Aero 2. The locomotive is a EP36, I think they call it 3/6. No, I did not get any American trade. So his collection is German or some Italian. So this is a cute little set here. That it came with the cars are Rocco. The locomotive is Märklin. The cars are Rocco. There's a 4-car set here, But there's another group of cars that are very similar color. But that's I'm really excited about that one. And if I had seen this guy in a, if I had seen this loco in a catalog or anything else, I'd say, well, I kind of like the livery. But I think the locomotive itself, the body style, I tend to think is very ugly. But now that I've got one in my hands, it is cute. Hey, Christopher, how are you? Oh, left trades home. Era 6 boundary has been gone for a long time. I've got Rhinegold's from Era 2 and a bunch of tin plates from Eras 3 and 4 and even into 5. Just all kinds of stuff. But now you can see the other one I was going to show. It just came by. I forgot to stop it. I've got a little Italian train. So now I have Italy can run on my layout. And then here you just see a whole bunch of various CIWL cars. Some of them are specifically the Orient Express. Others, I don't think they are specifically Orient Express. They're just CIWL Pullmans. And they're in various categories from very elaborate and sharp, like this one here, which actually has some good weight to it. This is a Rivarossi. And then this is a Lima, and this is very lightweight. It probably would need some weight added to it. But yeah, I just like this guy. Once I got it out of the box and showed it to Joyce, and I also believe I showed it to Jean Ricard in a phone chat. Very nice. But then just a bunch of cheap Limas and the company Porsche or Polka, depending on where you're from. Hey, Raymond Anthony, how are you? Great to see you here. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. This one, I just got to decide what are the proper cars. There's actually one more car to this that has a bad bogey. So I didn't put it up on the track here. And there is so much more that I have, I've spent today sorting it. Like, I'm going to shut this down for a second. I know you guys would rather see the cars, but it is what it is. Whoops, not that one. I spent today sorting like certain types of cars to different into different boxes. Like I put everything out, and then like all the tanker cars went into one group, all the passenger wagons, all the well, I got a bunch of beer cars, all the beer cars in a box, all the other types of freight cars in a box. So tankers in one, freight cars, which would be container wagons, and the Rollende Landstrasse wagons I got, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then once I got those sorted, I started specifically now sorting the passenger cars. So I've got so many different groups of passenger cars, like all the ones that are the Orient Express here, all these Era 1 kits separated, and so on, and so on, and so on. So anyhow, now I'll bring my guest up and see how they're all doing. So hello, Allison, you're on screen. And
hey, Anthony.
Hey, so how are you gentlemen doing?
Doing pretty good. Just got home from a yard shift.
Oh, okay. How long a shift today?
12 hours, 5 to 5.
Woo, yikes. Yeah, actually, what I am learning, Andy, is poker. Well, it's owned by Hornby now, but it seems to share a lot of undercarriage basics with Lima, as opposed to the Rivarossis, because I had just opened a Lima of the same type of car, and it's identical to the Poker or Porsche, if you say it the Bavarian and Austrian German way. In proper German, CH is pronounced like that. Poker. Poker. but in Bavarian, you pronounce it as an HH, Porsche. So since the guy is Bavarian, I assume he would have pronounced his name Porsche. Or actually, it's not even Bavarian. It's Northern Italy, but that would be your Southern German accents, your Tyrolean and Austrian accents. But yeah, I have a lot. Now, sadly, there's actually a fourth car to go with this Italian set. And this one, which is the dining wagon, has a very bad bogey on it. For some reason, it seems pushed up or something in it is deformed because it doesn't like any curve. I put it on a radius 5 curve, and it just immediately derails. And then I was checking the bogey, and the bogey clips the side of the car. So what's happening is when it's trying to go around the curves, it can't turn enough. And looking at the bogey, it does look like there's something like it's pushed down. So even when you push it up in, the plastic's warped or something. So I don't know. I'll see if I can come up with another bogey for this, so I can run the 4-car set. But yeah, so it's a night train. This Italian train is a night train. And the thing is, there's actually a locomotive that goes with the Italian train, but it is, it's 2-rail. But it's one of the 2 rails that I'd like to see if I could get it converted to 3-rail. And it's of a brand. Do I have it down here? Yeah, here. This is the matching loco. I don't want to go solo, but I do want to make me big. There we go. I like this loco a lot, and it actually matches the cars just a little better. It's really like a class 215 or 216 German. So Jean Ricard was saying maybe I could find a Rocco 218 chassis and switch the tops on it, or see if I could switch the tops on it. But yeah, so it's, but this goes with it better, but sadly this is 2-rail. So it would run on my little layout on the floor down here, but it won't run on this layout. But this one I think goes with the cars a little better. But why be picky? But you know, the loco, and I'll bring it in here in view. It it's just very plain. It's cool looking because it's got a lot of colors on it, but it's also kind of plain. This one, you know, says Trenitalia on it. So just all kinds of stuff here. But Manic, I forgot to send Tammy and Ray the invitation to co-host if they wanted, because I set this up real fast on Wednesday in the middle of all sorts of other stuff I was doing, and I just never got a chance to it. You have a bunch of FS locos, but they're all DC. Hey, did I see Daz Faulkner's here? How do, Daz? Great to have you here, my friend. And of course, I want to get this out of the way now. Randall?
Yep.
Depending on your work schedule, obviously next week, because Tammy is going to that show in near Baltimore, Timonium. I'll be in the UK, so they Arty was talking to me, and if he hasn't contacted you already, I'm contacting you to see if possible would you host, and we'll try to find, or Arty will try to find somebody else who can co-host.
Yeah. So Anthony, here's the deal. This is all going to be dependent on how things are going on the real railroad at that time. So all I'm saying is keep your eyes peeled on this channel, because the time may shift because of how my work schedule is. I mean, I hate to be that way, but
no, I understand. I know your work is erratic.
It's a very, very bizarre time right now, because we just had derailment yesterday at the sand plant.
Oh, yikes.
And then they're saying something about they're working on a bridge. They found a crack in it somewhere on the line.
Not cool.
So yeah, things are kind of getting backed up right now. It may iron itself out by that time. We're still a week away, but right now it's been fairly chaotic. But also with when I talked to Arty about this with the club display going,
All right.
what I may do is try to go live from there, depending on again how things goes.
Okay.
However, I looked at the club hours for Saturday and it's 12 to 4 on Saturdays and Sundays. So if I do it from there, I probably have to start at like 2 p.m. my time. If it doesn't look like I'm going to get called out, I may wait and do it from here. But the way they're calling these yard shifts and stuff, I never know when I'm going out. Okay. So because it's not a ranked. How am I trying to say this? It's not a ranked thing.
You're under no obligation. You're under no obligation.
Well, I just want to throw that out there.
Understood.
Because how everything's a moving target. So, so I may go. It may be like an unannounced thing when I do this. So, but.
So, but anyhow, so yeah, we'll try to find people because obviously I won't even be in the ability to find because it'll be well whatever time it is for Andy right now, which is like 1:22 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, but I will try to do Wacky Weekend next weekend. Like I said, just watch this space because times may shift. So
well, that's just it. I won't be watching that space. I'll be watching the inside of my eyelids. So anyhow, Jean, what were you trying to say, my friend?
Well, I was just confirming your timing because it's really late night over here in Europe, and I'm looking forward to see you in European time zone so that because I know you so well, so you might get on the stream anyhow, even if
no, I guarantee you that will not happen.
Okay.
I figure. No, I can guarantee you. Friday, which is when I'm going to do my live stream. We're going to be. Let's just put it this way: there's a pretty good chance I will be doing my live stream from a bar.
Yeah.
Even though I probably won't drink much, and Joyce may not drink at all, there will be plenty of people who are. And then Saturday night. There will be a lot of people in the hotel after the show. So I assume there will be a lot of raucousness. So I figure by midnight UK time, which would be 7
hours early.
I will be definitely out cold somehow, somewhere.
Yeah, okay.
So Tom, I have some Orient Express cars, but they're from different companies and different types. So I just threw them up here because I'm trying to decide. Actually, eventually I'll ask some people, is there a proper arrangement? Because only one of these is officially a sleeping car that I can see. And then there's a couple of them that look like, one says it's a bar car, and one is a dining car. But the only one that specifically says it's a sleeping car is, well, you can't see because I'm on a different camera. You can't see it, but yeah, I've got a lot to throw this out. Eugene C-Gleis, Brunswick train fan, farm lover videos. Well, hello and welcome in. Nice to have you here. Eugene C-Gleis. That's a good old German name. Anyhow, let's do like we do on the other channels. I now declare you a knight of the Rhomboid table. Oh, no, you're not a knight of the Rhomboid table because this isn't the stream to become a knight of the Rhomboid table. But you now you are now imbued with a spanner.
Can't you get the Italian night train to run because it's standing in the background of you?
Show the locomotive. I was going to show the locomotive. You know, that's how I roll. That's how I roll, dog. I was just trying to show. So I do like it. It's got a lot of color to it. I just wish it had more on the side. But again, I don't even know if this locomotive is something that would pull this kind of cars. All I know is it says it's an EU 0043-007. So it's a James Bond special because it does end with the numbers 007.
Yeah,
But,
well,
but since it's Italian, it would be Guillermo. No. Well, Guillermo is William. What is Iago is James. It can be John or James. So it's Iago Bondo.
okay.
It's a James Bond train. It's Iago Bondo.
Yeah, but I think it's a beautiful locomotive that fits very well with that coach.
It
But
does.
I'm
The
not-
green on it matches very well with the green on the coach behind it.
And
But we'll
and
get it in
I somehow expect it to be, you know, like a corporate locomotive, like when you have your Flix train. You know, they have a Flix locomotive, and they run with the Flix cars. I think this
Hi,
is
Dwight.
an Italian you know, company running the night trains in Italia, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, all the cars obviously say FS Train Italia. So FS, of course, is the Italian federal, you know, the Italian trains, you know, like Deutsche Bahn in German.
Yeah.
But then they also say Train Italia, which simply means trains through Italy. And and this particular loco that I have pulling it, it's got the Italian flag colors on it, but it doesn't say Tren Italia on it. The one that is this does say Tren Italia. So
Okay.
the cars are Acme. The cars are Acme, and then the current loco run. Both locos are Roco. They're Roco locos.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing a brand new dance now. Come on, baby, do the Roco Loco. Roco Loco sounds like it should be some sort of
Yeah, but you know, Roco
thing.
is the Austrian equivalent of Märklin, basically.
Yes, we know. But this is also a Märklin Playtime, which is their low-end version. In fact, they don't even officially make Märklin Play or Roco Playtime anymore.
No, but you know, don't pay attention to that, even if it's low end, as you say.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is if you say low end, you think lower quality, and it's not that. It's just they're made for beginners into the hobby and kids. So not a lot of fancy detail, more plastic than your higher end models. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's a very sharp, and it's actually got some good weight to it. It's got very good weight to it. It could be a very high quality runner. It's just, it's their low price point and not their higher price point.
Yeah. But you know, I don't think that you consider the KLVM small steamers to be low quality, but they are actually also the beginner's locomotives from Märklin, you know.
Yeah, but they don't have the extensive details that your higher end Märklin. It's no different than if you get some passenger cars that are hobby, or now it's Märklin startup versus the higher rate. Okay, it's more plastic than metal. It's a little less effort in the detailing, because to sell it at $30 or $40 as opposed to $60, $70, $80, $90, or $100, they've got to save that money somewhere. Less metal, less detailing, etc.
May I ask you one question? The one locomotive, the KLVM that we saw earlier today.
All right. Good night, John. What's that?
The little locomotive, the KLVM.
Yeah.
You took apart. earlier today. Did you test that one out for?
No, I have not. I have not tried those out. I do know at least 2 of them do have decoders in them.
Okay, great.
What's the? Oh yeah, this one had the preset decoder where you go in and do the on off. It was an 8-pin. You know, there was 1 through 8, and you pick the address, and then 1 on or off, 2 on or off, 3 on or off. So you just set the address. It was hesitant, but once I got it, I had to add it manually, but it did read as an MM. It did read as an MM decoder, and once I set the address, I heard a little bit of a buzz, and the light flickered, and then I pushed it on the track, and all of a sudden you could feel. But the gears in it were moving so stiff. So take it apart, clean it up, any goop or anything else. Now, this thing had not run often, if ever. The ski on it shows maybe a little bit of wear, but I'd already had it on my track and messing with it a bit because the ski was fairly clean, but maybe it had a run in or something like that. But it's a 30-year-old, 25, 30-year-old model. When did Miraklin switch to 5-digit?
That one, are we talking about the
We're talking about the one that's running right now.
Oh, okay. That was issued in 2001.
Was Miraklin still doing 4-digit? I thought by 2001 they had gone to 5-digit.
No. If you go in and say 37060, as it's known by the catalog number, and it says released in 2000, 2001, and for 3 years it was.
Yeah, because they've re-released it. They've re-released it since, but as you were telling me, only the first release has the. Because this is, and I'm gonna stop it next time around and put it up here more visibly in the camera and talk about it. In fact, there it is right there. I'm just gonna stop everything for a second. But you were telling me about this, but I'm gonna act like I'm the guy who knows.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. You know.
Yeah, so let's go to where am I?
You're right in the middle in the little screen.
Yeah. I've got to get my OBS up because I have to change cameras through OBS. All right, so I want to hold this up. This is, as everybody sees, an electric, but these came out in like 1913, 1914. In reality, not the model. But you can see there is a little smokestack here. Because this had like a stove, a heat stove or whatever.
Actually, it's a vertical boiler. You can
see a vertical boiler. Okay. Yeah. So this particular model in my hand, you can put a smoke unit in it, a smoker unit in it. So you would have a smoking electrical car.
Electrical locomotive.
Electrical locomotive. Yeah. You can have a smoking electrical locomotive, and the smoking would actually be realistic, not because the engine's about to blow up. So yeah, very
I think we should explain the reason why they put in the boiler in that locomotive was basically to heat the cars, the passenger cars behind it. So it had like a heating line with hot water going from the locomotive to all the cars to get it comfortably heated when it ran in the mountains of Bavaria. It's a Bavarian type locomotive.
Yes, it is. It's a very interesting wheel arrangement too. I don't know if you technically call it a 264 or a 462, but really it's it's a 4422.
Yeah, but that's what the number means when they say 6.3. It's because it has six axles that that has wheels on it, and the tree is the tree powered axles. And actually, it has four axles, but the way that it was run was that the blind axle, the fourth axle that is not a wheel, it's actually like a spinning wheel, and the traction was going through the rods like a steam locomotive. So it basically had one giant electric motor in that locomotive.
But as soon as I got it, it was just, oh, I like this a lot. It was very much this is again, if I look at these in a catalog, I go ugly. But see, the thing is, I didn't go out to buy this. I bought a collection, and this just happened to be in the collection. See, I would never go out and buy one of these by itself.
It's just the bug is getting to you, and any locomotive, basically, when you get it in hand, is actually a beautiful locomotive.
Oh no, I've got some that I have here now. And Herb, if you're watching, please forgive me for saying there's some ugly locomotives over here.
Yeah, but taste as everything, like you don't like onions in your food.
Damn straight.
That doesn't make onion a bad
onion. Yeah, it does. Onions, they make you fart, they give you bad breath, and they taste bad in your food. How is there anything about that? Well, I like the taste. No, but you like the smell. Like you never mind.
Yeah, but that's your taste buds that have it like that. The rest of us likes to go.
The rest of you can have the taste buds, and then you have horrible breath. Joyce eats onions, and I won't kiss her afterwards.
Well,
she has to go brush her teeth or take a mint before I'll kiss her.
Have you ever thought why she eats so many onions then?
Because she needs to be able to come up for air sometimes. Sorry, good night, kids. But see, I'm going to hurt your feelings now.
No, you're not. You cannot hurt my feelings. I really like you are getting the bark the way that you get it.
But, well, yeah, once you get into this, like, see this one? Historical, but to me, ugly. The green is dull, and it makes this locomotive ugly. I don't find that super attractive. I have it because it was part of the collection, and it is 3-rail. So so it's one of those. I actually got the cars to go with it, so I have a train. I'll have to get the cars and show you. But see this? Ugly, yeah. Ugly.
But
now, these are major workers at certain eras in the German railway system, but ugly. Yeah. Ugly. And now here, let's take one of those KLVMs. Now, this actually has a nice livery. And Andy, you are the resident Brit here, unless Christopher's still awake. This looks kind of like, what is it? Would you call it a terrier or a pannier? Pannier or pannier, or however you guys say that one.
Can't you put it so that we can see the wheel configuration? Yeah, because
it's an 060.
Yeah, but
quiet, Dane, or I'll throw you back in the basement. See, let you out of the basement for a while, and you're a little bit of free, a little bit of freedom. A little bit of freedom goes to your head.
When you ask people if it's like that or that, they should be able to see the configuration of the wheels because it means so much.
All right. Listen, Dane, you don't do live streams where you're holding up your trains, and I'm trying to hold these things up with my shaky hands, trying to avoid dropping them. So I have to hold them in places where if my hand suddenly goes, blah, it doesn't go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
okay.
Quiet, or I'll mute you.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, see there. Now you got my hands upset even more.
No, it's because
I'm like,
you're upsetting yourself,
No. If you weren't giving me grief, I'd be fine. See, my right hand is okay because I'm a lefty, and that's where more of the damage is. But there. So, yeah. So, again, I've got these, but these aren't something like, oh, Anthony, you're going to fall in love with them because they also, once you've got the bug, you've got the bug. And no, these are still ugly. I would never go out and buy one of these. I've got like 6 of them over here, and Kyan will probably inherit some someday soon. Now, are there any big steamers? No, I will. I'm giving away more than I want to give away here, but this is the biggest steamer coming that is coming.
Yeah.
This is another Class 18 or an S36.
Yeah. And again, the S36 goes with the axle configuration under the locomotive itself. So the 6 is the...
I'm sorry, Sean, I lost what you were saying. Something's happened. I think your mic got shut off somehow.
Who muted me? You muted me again. No, it's you. Yeah, shame on you.
I have the power and understand that, Crazy Dane.
Yeah.
Hey, who else can? Oh, Von Don Eisenbahn is here. Hi, guys. So yes, this is if you can see it there, it says K for Königreich. Come on, get over here. K for Königreich. BAY for Bayern. STS dots. And then B for Bahn. Royal Bavarian State Railway, whichever one you want to say. It's not a railroad, it's a railway. And it's a 462. Isn't that technically the Pacific? Isn't Pacific any locomotive that has a 462 configuration? Isn't that a Pacific?
That's what I don't recall what you call the different.
Hey, Charlie from Cardiff Hill. Hello. But
I was trying to explain that the S36 referred.
Yes, I know, and you've already explained it. So.
Okay, sorry. I shut up again.
Good, you're learning. And they said Danes couldn't be taught.
Just you wait, Mr. Higgins. Just you wait. Just to quote another.
And see, you're just a Dane. You're not even a Great Dane.
Oh, now you are. And you expect me to accommodate you next summer, Now,
I've got the trump card on that, dude. I've got the trump card on that. You boot me, Joyce isn't coming either.
Okay. That would be a shame, though.
There you go. You pick your poison. Now, just to prove that every rule can be broken, a bit, I did get this little diesel shunter, which is a little bit bigger. And again, I would never buy one of these, but because it came into the kit, I was able to look at this one and go, I kind of like that one. It's probably the livery. It's got that white with the red stripe livery. But so yeah, that's kind of a cool one.
And what class is that, Anthony?
323.
Or a V60.
That too.
Yeah. So,
I like 323. You know why I like it being called a 323?
No.
Because it says it's a 323 right on it.
Okay. Yeah. It's probably
actually it's a 363, not a 323, a 363.
Yeah. Probably it's in that livery because it was used for shunting in some area where they make up the passenger cars of the high-sea trains in Germany.
I gotta see what the private chat is. Okay, we're good. Okay, so yeah, Randall is there. Randall is just one of those polite people. He knows, right? Yes, the Kopf is the 323 because Luma.
And you say that you are not bitten by the bark?
I'm not bitten. Dude, I bought a collection. These came in the collection. That doesn't mean I'm in love with them. I am in love with the collection. I'm in love with the story behind the collection. I love the people I bought this collection from.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean like if you go and buy somebody's house in an estate sale, there's some ugly furniture in it too. You'd know about that. Now,
yeah.
That's a cool engine.
You too, Randall. Et tu, Randall. I've already got the Dane, and now the other guy on the. Now, that's a cool one. No, it's ugly.
But that one is just the modern version of the one you showed before. Oh, that's a fine one, and it's a Brava. That's a real fine one, you know.
Yes, unfortunately,
it
even came with a little man. It came with a little man who just committed suicide because he didn't want to be seen in such an ugly locomotive. Even the plastic guy. That's why you cut their legs off so they can't run away. But he's like, see, look at this. Look at the pose he's in. The pose he's in is like, get me the hell out of here.
No, he's
trying to get out.
He's climbing the locomotive to get in. Be nice, Anthony. Be nice.
Thank you. Luma's on my side at least. Yeah, but it's cool because it's an old model. That's what I like about it. This thing weighs a ton. This little thing weighs a ton, which means I should bring it to Denmark when I come over with Joyce, and I'll throw it at you, hit you in the head, and people say, what happened to him? He was killed, hit by a train.
Be careful what you're doing, because I might have, the Märklin version of that and throw something back at you, We could start the fight in small.
Well, we'll find out which one's made better. Yeah. If it was a new Brava, the Märklin would win. Because the new Brava would fall apart in your hands as you tried to throw it. Not because it's made bad, but it has so many little details on it that you don't want to touch it. You look at a new Brava and a piece breaks because they put so many little fragile lines. Yeah, we actually put little hair wires in there that actually, are on the. But yeah.
Anthony, that just shows something about the ability to make quality models with fine details.
Yeah, it does. Brava is a very good company, although there is one guy that was arguing with me for 3 days about how Brava sucks. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I like my new Brava 449. I'm sorry yours had an issue. Mine runs great. Quit fighting with me over it. Why are you saying it's great? Brava sucks. Why are you saying it's great? Because
mine got the bug.
Good.
You got the bug.
So anyhow, and then we got this little guy here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I better move my fingers before Jean Ricard yells at me.
No, but it's a great locomotive, and it's the predecessor of the KLVM locomotive.
Yeah, and as Raymond Anthony pointed out a little bit ago, the KLVMs are not based on any specific locomotive, just sort of an idealized version. By the way, just in case anybody else wants to come up here and give me grief.
By the way, I saw, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, Particle Station.
Particle
Station, yeah. He saw I was running trains remotely. Yeah, I'm actually doing a test because some of the engines I took to the club display were not responding well to the club's DCC system. And I wanted to put them on my lab to make sure it wasn't actually a problem with the locomotives themselves, but this one's running fine.
Okay.
Can you enlarge Randall's picture just so that we can see the trains a little better?
Yeah, so this, for those that don't know what this engine is, this is a Scaled Springs Rivet Counter C39-A. And what it was doing when I was on the club layout, it would run until you would stop the train, and then it wouldn't move again. The prime mover would rev up and down, but the train wouldn't move. And I didn't know if something was going wrong, but or what the deal was, because it was affecting all the scale train engines that I had there. So I want to put one of them here on this layout with my DCC system and see what I do, and it works just fine. So I have a theory why they're doing that. I made a really bad attempt one time, probably about 2 years ago, to advance consist a couple of locomotives, to which point I failed miserably. And ever since, for whatever reason, the scale trains and the Athearn locomotives have not reacted really well to the club's DCC system, which is odd because they use the same brand that I do, which is MRC. So,
Randall,
yeah.
it would suggest that you might need some more at the club layout. You might not have, enough bus feeds for the tracks, so you don't get the signal through to the decoder when it runs.
John, their DCC system, well, it is the same brand as what I've got. It's a slightly different system. I think it's still a starter system, but I think it's a slightly older version than what I've got.
But that it's just when you explain that it kind of loses some information. It's basically.
Now let me mute that so I can hear. Yeah, because this is making a lot of racket. So.
Oh,
I really know what
John forgot to pay his light bill again.
Okay, John. Now I can probably hear you.
I'm back.
You're kind of fading out there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm back here. What am I going on?
Yeah, that's Merklin 3029. Yeah. It's all right. So anyhow, let me answer this one question while everybody else sorts things out. All right, so people want to know about the collection. Here's the story as much as I can that I should share. Herb and Nancy Mueller, they are old. He's German, born and raised in Munich, came to Canada, went to Canada for his job, married, and stayed. And he owns a ranch out in Alberta. And Alberta, Canada. And I've been talking to Herb for a while. And we've exchanged emails many, many, many times a year. I don't know which one's John. All right, Luma, you're on screen. I'll just finish the story. So anyhow, Herb is in his 80s, okay? And Herb has basically had the bad news of bad news. And he contacted me to say he's got to, he's can't do trains anymore. He doesn't run his trains anymore. And he's got them up on shelves and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think we just lost John.
Yeah, we lost John again.
But anyhow, so how do you make a long story short? He contacted me to ask me if there is stuff from his collection I would like, because he actually has a big former train of mine in his collection. The very first Merklin train I ever bought is in his collection. Now it's back in my collection. But be that as it may, he contacted me and asked me if there was anything in his collection I would like. Well, there was a bunch of stuff in his collection I would have liked, but also under the circumstances, because he wanted his trains to go to model train fans that would respect the pieces, that would use the pieces, not just buy them to part them out, that they would kind of honor what they were. And he was, he was even asking me if I could get some of my Merklin people on YouTube that want to get it, because it's 3-rail and it's 2-rail and all this stuff. So anyhow, be that as it may, I said, look, there's a lot of stuff I do want, but I'll tell you what, here is a number, X number of dollars, and I will take as much as your layout as you're willing to sell, your collection that you're willing to sell for that number of dollars, and we'll pick out which ones would fit up to that number. And he just said, well, if you go to that number, you can have my entire collection.
Mm-hmm.
And it saves him time, hassle of trying to, because he didn't want to just put it on eBay. He really wanted to sell it directly to people and blah, blah, blah. And I just said, I'll take the collection, I'll keep it, and maybe over time I'll fix some things up and then maybe sell those on. And he's fine with that if I find people that also love Merklin, Fleischmann, Rocco, Pico, that he would be fine. But I'm not going to sell anything at this time. I'm going to appreciate what I've got. I'm going to build a couple of displays and put the best pieces up, but I'm also running. The two trains I've been running tonight are from his collection. Some of them have not been revealed in video. I've got one video up and there were 8 big boxes. I've gotten 6 and I've done 6 videos. One is already posted. One comes out tomorrow. Another one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the rest will have to wait until I come back from Getz. All right, I'm going to add Charlie to the stage. He's there. So that's the story. I bought the entire collection because I valued the friendship, the story. There's a lot of stuff in that collection I'd like. And yeah, it was just... and so there's a lot of things in it. For example, in this collection, I've gotten 27 locos, and that's just individual locomotives, 27 of them. I've got close to 100 just beer wagons, beer reefers. I've got all kinds of gondola cars, long and short. I've got a couple of container wagons, flatbeds. I've got Rollende Landstrasse, basically they transport trucks through the mountains of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. So there. All right. Well, I'm sorry, Jean. I don't know if it's the StreamYard or just your tablet is having an issue. So yeah, that's the story. That's it. So anyhow, Charlie and Luma, you are both on stage. If you got anything you want to share real quick or pop on, I'll be staying on till about 1:50 or 15 after 20 after my time.
What time? What time are you talking about?
Well, it is now almost 9 o'clock my time, which means where you're at in Portugal, I think you're at 2 a.m. Luma is muted.
Yeah, no, exactly 2 a.m.
And so here it's 9 a.m. So I'll be staying on till like 2:15 your time. Also in the UK, it's 2:15.
Oh, okay.
John Ricard is 3:15.
Right. It's late at night. Moment, I stop the light. Shit, Hauptsache es funktioniert nicht. Das ist besser. Have you seen that?
Yeah, tell you what, let me enlarge you, embiggen you.
No need. It's a B23 Primex.
Yeah, Primex.
About, I think, 35 years old.
Wow, nice.
But it has an ASU in there.
Okay.
One thing you don't like, I don't know if you can see that very well, is a Texas FZ.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice.
I have 3 of them, different painting, because I like it, and it's very old too. I don't know exactly how many years, but it's likable. As you see, I am not doing nothing special, but only testing rock rail and other things I have to do here for the automation of my layout in the future.
Right. Go ahead.
No, it's only that, nothing special. I
It's-
was awake. I was awake, and I saw you were going on live, and I was wondering what the heck that guy is doing that at that hour. But now I understand. Wacky weekend. I didn't know about that. Something new I didn't know.
Yeah, it's but I will always argue when somebody says it's nothing special, because I always say my thing's nothing special, and everybody, oh no, it's like you're running trains, you love the model train hobby, and whatever you're doing is cool. I mean, you showed me two models that really I hadn't seen. Oh, gee, where have I seen that one?
Yeah, that's a Macklin one. I think it's not the first, but it's the second, and that is not with Fate, made with Brava, because Brava and Macklin worked together to produce the first cuffs from Macklin at that time. But this is a model only made by Macklin. And it still works. It's about 25 years old, I think. Yeah. And still works and going. Luckily. As you can
That's
see,
cool.
you can see better. Well, like I said once, I have over 100 models all around here. Principal behind me. All this
Oh,
is
look at the collection. Ah, look at that.
all this that is full. I made this drawers exactly for that.
Wow.
So you see all around, it's full of 50 years of collecting until down there, and still I have no space, enough space for all this. So I stopped. I do the most intelligent thing. I stopped buying because it was getting too much. You was talking
I wish
about,
I had those vitrinas. I wish I had those vitrinas. Those are beautiful.
you can easily buy it in Germany, but you can always do it by a special craftsman who knows what he's doing. It's not special design or nothing. It's simply
No,
so you can put it all together.
no,
Okay?
I just need the wall space to put them on.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's always a problem. But when you have to go to always think, you have to reach every time everything. Even if you have a layout later on, here will be layout later on. You have to be able to get there to take out the models easily, or else it will be a graveyard.
Okay.
Okay.
See, that's my problem, Luma, is I built this layout so it's hard to reach the walls.
Yes, that's always the problem. We built in a way that later on we can't. You can't see it, but yeah, you can see it. You see the hole there.
Yep.
That's the hole. That will be always there, so I can go under and stand up and be or sitting there and have enough space to work around the layout. There's an exact hole here, but now I have this test layout for rock rail and my Thames, and with all that the gimmick which comes with every digital layouts, which will be controlled by a computer later on. No? But
Nice.
this hole gives me later on every possibility to reach every space inside the layout. And here's you don't see it, but it's the same in another way, and it will later on be very good to get under there and be able to sit and stand there to build on the layout or to repair something that will go certainly wrong, like we always know.
Right. But it looks, I mean, I'm sorry. I think it looks great. And, you know, you've got the space and you're doing awesome with it. All right, I'm going to pull up Charlie here for a second because
Yep.
he's running, he's got, looks like a Eurostar running at Partick Hill, which is
Yeah, that's
Charlie.
correct.
British.
Yes, and the
And
other
then,
one
is that a 47 or what was that going past?
no, that's the Western. Get a better look there.
Oh, I like that engine.
See, I'm still trying to learn my UK ones and a Western. Is that so? It's a Western. I
Yeah.
thought because that's definitely not a warship. I know my warships.
Yeah.
That's
There we
lovely.
go. I don't know. There's something about locomotives in maroon. I love LMS just because so much of their stuff is maroon. And maroon is not my favorite color, but the minute you put a train like, or even the Royal Mails that had that blood red coloring, it's a shame they're done with the Royal Mail trains because I really like those.
That Helm Leasing had a lot of their locomotives painted in maroon color.
Charlie, your layout is 00, right?
Yes, it is. So
Okay.
that's the Western Courier.
Okay.
You wouldn't see it here in Glasgow. Well, at least at my station. It wouldn't come that far north. But as you can see, it's come up to pick up some whiskey.
Sorry, boss. We got to change the route. We've got a whiskey run to. What? Who set an order for whiskey? I did. Bye. Click.
Yeah.
Eastbound, I'm loaded up and trucking.
I've
We're
got
gonna
quite
do
a
the
number
same
of these wagons.
That's nice.
I like the posters. See, it's little stuff like that that I love. Whoops. We didn't see that. Nobody saw that.
Yeah.
I like the posters. Those little details. The like old posters that are a little crumbled and crinkly on the brick walls. I think they when people do that, it just adds that extra element. I remember Everard Junction where he was printing up 3D pop cans and little wads of newspaper and putting them in just every now and then because the ultra realism. I would never do it, but I would never knock somebody who does. Wow, wait a minute. Hang on. I got to do this just for a second. I don't think I've ever done this. Luma,
Yep.
I see your face for the first time.
First line.
I believe I don't. If I've seen one of your old videos where you had your face on, I don't remember it. So now I'm seeing you.
Yes. Yeah, I had some videos, old videos, some years ago where 2014, where I was playing around with trains and listening to your live stream, Friday live stream. And
Yeah, you've been at my live stream for a long time. My live stream started in 2020.
2020.
Yep, I started my channel in 2018.
That's about the time when I made the video where I was testing the locals and putting a lot of cars behind one 3021 V200 from Macklin.
Yep.
And I was listening to a live stream. Yeah. But we all get older. Where does he go?
Well, you mentioned it, so I finally have one.
What number does it have? 220? 3 220 BL.
This is a B200.
Yeah.
And then I've got a 220, 221 in ocean blue and beige from ESU.
Yeah, I know that model, but I like that red and gray one better.
Yeah.
I
It's a
saw that.
classic.
I saw that in Germany. Nice.
I actually have seen one too, but only parked in a museum.
No,
Anyhow,
one.
Charlie, I got to ask you. You just showed an Intercity 125. Now, is that a 43 running it, or is that the 91?
Good question.
This one
Yes.
here.
Yep, your Intercity 125, because I do love those Intercity 125s as well as the original HSTs.
Yeah, that's a 43.
That is a 43. Okay.
Yeah.
One more to your list to buy.
And then that Intercity in the Swallow livery, is that a 90 or is that also a 43? Is that a 91 or a 43?
That's a 91.
Okay. Woohoo! I learned something, folks. I learned something.
So this is an old Airfix kit.
Oh,
of a
wow.
Spitfire.
It apparently lost its fight with the Messerschmitt.
Exactly. And
Lost the wheels.
so I modified this car carrier and installed the remains of a Spitfire. Now, here's a little bit of history for you.
Okay.
On the 40th anniversary of the Battle of Britain, I attended a dinner
1980.
here in Toronto, where I met, amongst others, General Adolf Galland of the Luftwaffe and Sir Douglas Bader, who was a Spitfire pilot who flew with 2 tin legs. He was shot down over France, captured, and then he was taken into one of the prisons. Now, while he was there, he tried to escape. So they took away his one leg because when he bailed out of the Spitfire, the one tin leg got stuck and he had to unbuckle it and jump out the plane with one tin leg.
Wow.
So the Luftwaffe contacted the RAF and told them that if they brought in a spare leg for him, they would give them free passage into Germany and back out again. And they actually did that. A Lancaster went over and dropped the tin leg and then went back home.
Wow.
So he spent the rest of the war in prison.
Wow, that's a great story. Other than the poor guy had a tin leg, but
Well, he had 2 because he was in an accident
right.
prior to the outbreak of World War II. He crashed his training aircraft and had to amputate his 2 legs, but he got his commission back and he would hobble about on 2 tin legs and he flew that plane again. And he ended up as a squadron leader.
Amazing.
Anyway, that was awesome. And I have a couple of prints by Robert Taylor, the British artist. One of them is called A Jewel of Eagles and autographed by Douglas Bader. And he's in his Spitfire. He's being chased by the M109.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, look, I've got to go. Just a quick visit. Say
Okay.
hi. And
All right. Well, thank you for being patient while we got you up on before we could get you up on screen.
yes, sir. We'll catch you next time, maybe in the morning with Andy.
Yes, I shall be there.
Andy.
Hopefully awake and showered, but maybe not.
Okay. Cheers.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Everyone,
Randall. Hi there, Randall. What's up?
hey.
I'm just sitting here watching my trains go round and round.
Oh yeah.
Oh, how I love to watch them roll. See, I can't help it. I take any song anymore, and if I'm looking at trains, talking about trains, I just start making them model train related. That was John Lennon's song, Watching the Wheels, though. The third single that was released after he was murdered. I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and round. I love to watch them roll.
Goed, tinchelig er så.
And
What's that?
yeah. Before I forget, the kicker with this NS engine, the way it's running now, it's actually running in reverse. That's not how this locomotive is set up to run.
Okay.
It's actually set up to run. How am I trying to say this? It's set up to run reverse of what you would normally see a locomotive, where you have the cab out in front. These engines were designed to run long hood forward. So, but yeah, the engine's actually running backwards.
Well, the car, the freight it's pulling doesn't seem to mind.
No, it doesn't matter.
Hey, Thomas, you're running backwards again. You might want to turn around, look where you're going.
Oh, we could go a long way with that one.
Arty, don't remind us. We are in panic mode. It seems every time Joyce and I want to go to the UK,
Chile.
something happens. Every time we
The
want to go
storm
to
is
the UK,
coming.
the year we made it to the UK, it took us forever to get out of Canada. And then, so our flight from Windsor to Toronto was delayed. And then they threw us on a plane an hour and a half earlier than planned. And then we got to Toronto and that flight was delayed. And then we had to wait 3 extra hours before we finally got on a flight. So we arrived 3 hours late in Heathrow. And then we had to sit on the plane for a while because our plane got in at the wrong time. So we had to sit and wait for a place to open. And then when we left, it was worse. So now, last year we tried to go to the UK. Joyce and I come down with COVID the day before we fly out. Now, Joyce and I, we're prepared. We've got all the flu shots, the COVID vaccines. We're good. We're healthy. Joyce and I are taking anti-cold medicines, everything. We're good. We're feeling great. We're ready to go. Oh, Mother Nature says, oh, really? How about a hurricane? Like the Wicked Witch from the West. How about a hurricane, Scarecrow? We'll see if you get to England this time. You think you've covered all the bases? A hurricane to freaking Ireland. If you're still denying global climate change, hurricane in Ireland.
Huh.
Not Florida. Not Central America. Ireland. And all because Joyce and I just want to go spend a weekend in the UK. We never have this problem when we go to Germany. It must be German gods. It must be Thor. Thor's like, oh, coming to Germany? Come on in, Thor. Because in Germany he's Thor. He's not Thor, he's Thor. Or Tor. Thor. Yeah, I'll keep the weather clean. You come to Germany. Wait, you're not coming to Germany? Damn you! And I act this way without drugs, kids.
I don't believe that.
Never even smoked a regular cigarette, much less an herbal jazz cigarette.
Well, I don't smoke, drink, or do any of that stuff either.
What are you trying to say there, Luma? I'm talking about drugs, and all of a sudden you're going,
A lot of dust.
a lot of dust in here. Yeah, angel dust, maybe? No denial there. I mean, you got to do something to pass the time in Portugal.
Trains.
Trains.
I'm lucky my wife is sleeping. And when she sleeps, you can send a bomb. She will not wake up.
Oh.
So it's good. It's always good to know who you are marrying. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why all these people that see Joyce and meet Joyce that think she's wonderful, what she is, because she puts up with me. But you have to understand, there has to be something messed up in her that she bonds with me.
But don't try to find out. Don't.
Dude, you don't have to try. We've been married for 37 years. 37? What is this? Yeah, 37 years.
30.
Yeah, you just first time you begin sharing a bathroom as a married couple, you start finding out what's
No.
you start finding out each other's crazy.
No. No, Molly. No.
Just
Try
all
to avoid
little things. How you do the dishes, how you take out the trash, how
I don't do that.
Well, I'm sorry, Luma. Some of us can't afford maids and butlers to do all that for us.
No, maids and butlers.
James, the garbage smells. Remove it, please.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. You are in Portugal, so Iago.
How do you call it? I always forget. Papierkorb.
Oh, wastebasket.
Basket.
Yeah, wastebasket. Yep.
It's about 1 week here and nothing yet. Nothing in. Nothing. Zero. So
this is about 3 weeks.
But you are eating here.
I had my dinner down here tonight because I was working on these trains. And Joyce says, "Honey, do you want me to bring your dinner?" And I'm like, "Yes." How about you get me a sandwich and a beer? And then I woke up about 20 minutes later.
Don't eat it. Don't eat there. You will quickly. You will mess up your trains with your fingers.
I have my cleaning towels and finger wipes and my hand sanitizer and everything down here.
Okay.
I don't have to worry about me messing it up. It's my stupid cats.
I have now 4 cats and 2 cats who visit. And the simple
I'm sorry,
way,
my son.
No.
You have 4 cats?
No problem, because like you see, no cat is coming here in, and they don't. They like the trains because they are moving, and but there are little things like there's you brush normally your shoes with it.
The hair.
It flies very good, and so if you in Germany, one older man which I met in the 70s, he died about a few years later. He was already 80 years old. He said there's nothing that comes between me and my trains. And so it was not the cats, not the dog, not the wife, nothing at all. That's secret. So,
That's the one. See, that's the one. Joyce can come between me and my trains.
Yeah.
If I get a choice, honey, would you like to come upstairs or run your trains? Sorry, trains come in second.
No, not in my case, because trains was first, my wife came later. So she has to accept that. In your case, no. Okay, you're right. But always say the same to people who got married a few years ago and divorced a few years later. They don't accept the sequence of interests. And that is very important. I have to accept the sequence of interest of my wife.
Oh, yeah.
And she has to accept mine. In my is trains. Without the trains, I wouldn't have this home. I wouldn't have done several things in my life to come to get to this point. So
and yeah, it's a respect. And I mean, you know, as long as I'm not neglecting certain obligations I have, then and I'm down here for 3 hours, and Joyce doesn't resent it. She comes down and joins in.
She knows where you are. You are not drinking and fucking around.
That's right.
My English.
No, I'm all blue language is good. I'm happy. You could say it in multiple languages.
Yeah, I think in America, England, it's the same. When you see some documentaries in Germany, you always hear a wife say, "Well, he does that. It's normal for children, and all, but I know where he is, and he is near me. He's not in the pub. He's not running around on the streets."
My problem is Joyce always knows where I am, because regardless of what hobbies I've had, they've always been down here. My wargaming hobby was down here. My construction jobs were down here. My slot car, my Subudio, my toy hobby, it's always been down here. So I've always been down here. I don't go out in the real world and socialize with people. They scare me.
Well, near around you, because you're on the internet.
That's right. You're at a safe distance. You guys are at a safe distance. You can't get me. You can't get me. I'm actually very paranoid. That's why I'm always looking around. I'm like, wait, who's here?
Well, that's no problem. You have a 100-pound dog, a shotgun, and a bad sense of humor if you come to my home and not visiting. Okay.
Oh, right. Well, I don't have the gun, but I have other means if you came to my house uninvited. You got to go back and watch the video where Joyce has the baseball bat.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Now I remember. Yeah, but baseball bat. But okay.
But that's why she's so special to me, obviously. But she not only gets my sense of humor, she shares it. That was what kicked us off the night we met. We realized we had very similar senses of humor, and that's always the kicker right there. If you find the same things funny.
Yeah, like the how I don't know. I don't remember the name. Was when you started the videos, you did the ghost of
2015.
2015, yes, ghost of 2015. That's why I came to your channel some years ago. To 2018.
Yeah, I started.
Yeah.
All of that in 2018. Yep.
2018. Yeah. And now we're here. Now you have your layout. And how many trains do you have now?
I have not counted because I think it would depress me.
I haven't counted mine either, Anthony. It would probably depress me too.
Here's the thing, Luma. I buy 75 to 80% of my stuff from Lipa.
Yeah, I know.
And if you go to Lipa and you do order, like you're checking on an order, they have every order you've ever ordered from them listed right below it. All I gotta do is click on it and see how much money I spent. And I'm like, oh, that would be a small island in Hawaii, wouldn't it?
Let me show something if you can, no, you can't see it, but I will. So, you know the name of Kaufliste, no? The
Right.
list of things I bought along the years, and I have listed it all it since the first one. That's for my father
Gotcha.
in 61 until now. It's not only 2,772 items with all its tracks, all of it. But you might say, he spent a fortune, but no. At that point, at this moment, I have spent in 50 years that actual number of today.
Holy
36,000.
cow.
That's nothing compared to what probably you have spent in 3 years, because that's not even $1,000, $1,000 in 1 year. It's very
Yeah, although I just paid a nice chunk of change for this collection I just bought.
That means I have.
I seriously might be. Now let's see. I'd have to convert the euros to dollars. So about 46,000 euros would be about 50 on today's market. Would be about 55,000 American dollars.
But in 50 years.
Over 50 years. So over 50 years.
It's nothing. Yeah. It's nothing.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm going back to just 2015, 9 years. If I add this up, I might be a third to half of that.
Yeah, and you know that Macklin is not cheap in all in all the products that they have. It's I think it's the most expensive on the market. Even American trains are far cheaper, and tracks are far cheaper than Macklin is, and it's
that American curse.
Yeah, Macklin always was expensive. People nowadays are saying that model trains are expensive. No, I don't agree. They were expensive all the time. I still remember when I bought one local that costs me 60 marks. That's about 20 to 30 euros today. In dollars, probably $32. And I had to almost half a year to gather money to buy the local. Today I don't do that. I want a local, I buy it. But like I said, I had to stop at a certain point because it was going too much. And I have stopped. No, not stopped very well, but I have reduced my spending. But there will always be. Remember, there will always be that local, that carriage, that kind of train you will buy. Always, it's always the same. You can do nothing about it. It's like a bug in your head.
Yeah, it's Miraklin is. To me, Miraclin's like heroin. Once you start it, you're addicted. You just can't stop. You got to get your fix.
I did. But no, well, luckily for me, it's not heroin at this moment because I do not buy the new models because right. I don't like the engine, the motor. For me, it's the traditional kind of mechanism, the engine they have, not the new engines which are produced in China, which I don't like. And I don't expect that these locals will last like many I have. I have here locals 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 10 years, and they will run because they have the engine from the traditional engine from Macklin, and I like that. At the new models, no. So lucky for me, I will not buy them. I will not spend money on them, and so on.
But see, that's my problem. I can't go back in time and buy a 1965 Märklin ICE3.
You can. No, I see free now. But
No ICE. You know, I have to buy like a TEE or a Rheingold or something like that, which are nice. But that's my problem. I like the very modern stuff, and unfortunately, you can only get modern stuff. But I agree. I was playing because see, everything you're saying here, Jean Ricard has been preaching in my ear. He's like, I bought this Class 50 and this Prussian P8, and he's like, Anthony, those things have been around for a long time, and they'll be around long after you die.
Yeah.
They'll be around long after all your new trains. They will still be here. And I'm like, yeah, I see. So the first couple of times, because literally I put them on my tablet while I'm working on one of my trains so he can help guide me through it. And he's just like, you see that there? That is why this will last forever. Now go open. And he gets very bossy. I have to slap him down sometimes. He gets very bossy and he starts saying, now go open that train. In fact, I had that conversation with him today with one of these new ones. He says, get the screwdriver and open. And I'm like, hold on, Dane. You're not, I don't respond to Vikings. And he's like, no, get a screwdriver and open that up. Now, look at that. Now, and I start to close. He says, don't close it yet.
You are in hell. Like I said, you are in hell.
If I didn't love him, I'd shoot him. No,
Sell him.
Jean Ricard, I'm not bossy. I just tell you what to do. The whole thing is he just got done telling me, wait, I didn't tell you to do that. And then I started teasing him about being bossy. He says, I'm not telling you what to do. I said, yes, you did. You just told me to do this and not to do that.
It's like the little angel and the little devil.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
with
Jean Ricard's case, it's two little doubles.
Double stereo. That's funny. That's very funny.
No, he does play the angel too, because when I tell him that I'm interested in a new model, Anthony, you don't need that new model. You don't need that new model. Then I bite. Like, Anthony, you are really addicted to this, aren't you? You're really good with this.
No, I always say to people when they do certain things like model trains or hobbies, do what you like, do it as long as you can, and if you enjoy it, nice. If you stop enjoying it, change, move away, go to another.
If you're not enjoying it, you're doing it wrong.
We are losing a lot.
I keep having that discussion with Joyce. I'm sorry. Wait, sorry. We're talking trains.
You will go to hell. You really will.
And here's Jean Ricard. You should know as a teacher that you have to listen to pay attention. I'm the teacher.
Yeah, I noticed lately we are losing on YouTube, at least, and I think in other ways too, people who are doing model trains because they get to a point where they lost the love. And one of the things I see often is when people start YouTube and other activities which involve no, I don't like to say money, but well, money. Okay. When a trend, a model, when a hobby comes to a certain point where it's involved with business, you will lose your passion right away, and that's the problem. And any times we lost the one Kuhn. We lost one individually, which in the branch of TT in Germany, who died recently. Well, he died because he was ill. He had cancer, right. And you can imagine in 15 years, I saw a lot of people
Yeah, I
going
mean,
away.
we talk about that the hobby is dying, and on the flip side,
No, it's not dying.
it's not
It's
dying.
no,
But
transforming. It's I think it's transforming simples.
yeah,
You
I agree.
you have a lot of people who still have a layout in an analog layout and
Right.
will stay with that. You have a lot of people who do layouts or don't do or temporary layouts and will always do that. I don't think it's not dying. It's simple. It's changing, and like everything is changing in our life with the influence of outside. You can imagine. You are a teacher. Delmar, Portugal. I'm living in Portugal. I was born in Germany, but I am living in Portugal now. You as a teacher know
He would tell you what he's doing in Portugal, but then he'd have to shoot you.
not yet, not yet, not yet.
I am Bunt, Johann Bunt.
Johann Bunt. Okay, alles klar. Things change in anything. It's like the car industry, everything. You always know, Americans, you are crazy about old cars of the 50s, 70s, and 80s, and I respect that, because if I had my old car, I had a Lotus Europe from 1972, a British car. Lotus always was. If I had the possibility to get the car again, I will have a car, but it's I think everything changes with time, and it's like we do model trains. It will change in a certain point, but it will never go away. It will never go away.
Yeah, and
Well,
today
you
you don't want to
and
change.
Luke, yeah, and Luma, there's a great saying: everything comes full circle. And I think at some point,
Yeah,
we
believe it.
will maybe not 100% get back to the more basic,
Yeah,
if you want to call it that, basic models that we had 20, 30, 40 years ago. Except right now we're in a hyper prototypically accurate era of model railroading, which is great. I mean, I love these new engines, but I also love the old stuff too. So
Yeah.
you can probably see that right there.
yeah.
Old engines right
Santa
there.
Fe, Santa Fe,
Yeah,
no?
an old after blue box. So I mean,
You can take any hobby, and I've been in many, and you have an old guard that they hate all the changes.
Yep.
They want the things to be the way they were 40 years ago. And then you have people like me that are the new guys and love all the new tech and all the new that. And we always say things come full circle. I don't know if they come full circle. They see certain attitudes and how we view things may circle around, but we're always moving.
It's like
a curly cue. The attitudes can circle. There will be us in 30 years. There will be, in 30 years I won't be here. But there will be a generation that they're going to talk about the tech we have today. The tech we have today, like this was the best, and what's around today is horrible, And
I'm convinced model train in the 60s was exclusive, and it will be again in the future, in my opinion. Okay. Not everyone will do it. Not everyone will be able to do it, and not everyone will do it because it's a passion, a special passion. It's very special in my opinion. You have to be a person who creates, who thinks, who plans, there's a lot of things which people are not doing today because they want simply want to sit down and to be wie sagt man, entertained.
Well, you hear all these people talking about how expensive the hobby is, and
it is not.
And Anthony, we may be getting ourselves into some dangerous territory talking about this, but if you really sit at no, not that.
There is going. No, she's not around. Okay. It's only dangerous to talk about it to the wife.
What I was getting at was
that's the helmet on. I'm ready for the danger.
Here we go. Yeah, break out the hats. That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
but what I was going to say was back in the day when trains were quote unquote cheap,
I'm in the trench.
yeah, call them what you were, cheap. But um, you got to look at things like what minimum wage was back 30 years ago,
Yeah, but you had
and also what you had to choose from. I mean, back in the day,
well,
this was, this was considered high end
yeah,
at minimum mid range.
yeah. But
So
let me ask you something. In the time we are talking about the 60s and 70s, it what used to be that people, when they got married, we got a room. Then later on, when they had more money, they got a house. When they had to organize their lives to get the money for all the kitchen ach, wie sagt man auf Deutsch? Yeah, kitchen appliance, the living room, the bedroom, everything. Today, no one likes to do that. Today, they had to get it all. In a model train, we did the same. I started with a little layout, a little 2 or 3 trains, and it went. Now everyone wants to get it all. You still remember, I'm sure of it. You wanted to buy a certain kind of train, but you didn't have the money for it. You had to wait. It happened to me many times. When I was young, there came out a big locomotive, which wanted to have. It was only about 100 and some euros. BR44, and I had to wait several years to get that. That's normal for me, and it's normal for me today too. I don't think like, but people nowadays now they want it all, and I see people here in Portugal. I see people going to the shop and spending 5,000 euros, about $5,500 in a simple afternoon. And that part is crazy because you don't do effort for a thing that you like or want to have. So it's like when you, I don't know your life, but if you have a son or daughter and you and see it often, but not for you, but they bought a car for the daughter and since he didn't have to do nothing special to afford it, it's easy when something happens. That's okay.
Yeah.
But
because this turns into a multi-hour discussion. We could talk.
No, it's not a discussion. It's not a discussion. It's a way of life. It's a way of life, and I'm quite sure in the future, what I expect from model trains, it will happen again with that kind of people which not able to afford everything at the same time. Not for upper class. For upper class is okay. Right. That's another story. And they will gain the love to the hobbies, model trains or other things there again, and it will return. Not in the quantity of our days, but special ones.
But
and
there are other factors. There are other factors, of course. When we talk about today, everybody wants it all now, and I totally agree with that. I'm not going to disagree with that.
They want all the detail and all the sound and all that stuff. So
something you hinted at earlier. For example, I'll give you a simple example. My late friend Heinz Goten, who lived in Delmenhorst, who's the reason I started traveling to Germany and then started riding German trains, and thus I'm here. So in a way, he and his wife are to blame for all this, but they're both dead now, so I can't blame them. But Heinz had money. He never showed it, but he had money. But if you looked at like his TV or the little stand his TV on, it was the highest, most expensive stuff there was, but it wasn't the showy expensive. It was the high quality, looks nice. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
When I got into model trains a few years before he passed, he saw my passion and he thought it was great. and he would watch me on YouTube before he passed away. This guy had a room in his house that was the most advanced shortwave radio because that was his hobby. But he loved me getting into trains, and it made him think about it. But he wasn't going to invest the money in buying trains because even though he probably could build another room onto his house to run them, he wasn't going to do that. He starts playing the various train games on computers because that's another thing. Now you don't, if you want to run trains, you don't have to go out and buy a $300 locomotive. You can buy a $70 program and run all the trains you want to run in a layout that you can just do tippy tap, boom, and it's there. It's not the same as picking it up and holding it in your hand, but it is a substitute.
It's
and Kyle Stevens hit the nail on the head just a little bit ago, where he's saying back then if you want a highly detailed model, you could only get them in brass, which would cost you about $1,500 today.
Yeah.
Now a highly detailed model is $300, and you get sound. So yeah, Kyle hit the nail on the head right there.
Yeah.
You say something about hitting a nail on the head?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just a quick story, and I may have told this before on stream, but about 25-ish years ago, well, it'll be longer than that now. We're going back to the late 90s. I used to read model railroad Craftsman on a regular basis, and they would have an ad for overland models. Well, one of the ads was for a BN SD70 mag in brass. So I told my mom one time, I said, just for kicks and giggles, I said, let's just call them up and see what one of them bad boys cost.
Ooh.
I called them and asked him, I said, hey, I saw this engine in your ad in Model Railroad Craftsman. I said, what does one of them run? And I kid you not, they told me $700 to $800 in 1998. To give you some context, my dad bought a 1987 Mercury Grand Marquis for $500.
Yeah.
Yeah, let that sink in.
But you are talking about the model train Luxus.
Yeah.
Luxury.
Yeah.
You can also you can also run Spur 1, not like HO, but the great one, 1 to 32.
Yeah, 1. G or 1?
Yeah, G1. So if you have a space, you can run it too, but a locomotive of that kind will set you back in $3,000 or $5,000 euros or American dollars. It's sputtering. I think it's the same. It's like
American Big Boy, the American Union Pacific Big Boy in 1 scale, 7,999 euros. That is $8,700 for one locomotive.
Yeah, it's
You
still
can
the
buy a
same.
car for that.
Yeah. Well, if you have the money, you can buy it. No problem.
Yeah,
But you will not spend it. Yeah, I think that you will not spend it.
Although I have 2 children and a cat, I'd like to trade for that American, please. It's all right. I've got 7 children. I can spare 2.
Yeah, but like I said, it's not in my view, it's not expensive, but luxury is always expensive. If I drive a $40,000 car, I always can drive a $250,000 car. But well, it's that kind of thing, because if I buy a loco for $4,000, I have only 1 loco and not 7 or 8.
But if you know how to hotwire a car, you never have to buy one.
I know. I did that in Germany and Portugal, and fortunately I got away with it.
I had some friends who knew the crimes, and I learned how to do the crime. I didn't do the crimes, but I learned how.
I always say
Although
to
my
the
lock picking skills have come in handy because I had a niece years ago that locked themselves in a room and they couldn't get the. I said, "Give me a bobby pin and a narrow gauge knitting needle and pop."
Yeah.
And my wife's father, my father-in-law, my late father-in-law said, "Where'd you learn to do that, sir? I wasn't always a clean-cut young man that your wife is now or your daughter is now engaged to."
You put the old man in some trouble. But I always told the children of my friends, you can fuck up a lot of things. But the best thing about this, if no one knows about it. So you have a lot of stories to tell right on time. But when you get caught in some stupid things, because truth is we always did some stupid things in our youth. Well, that's the bad part. If you got caught, if you're not got caught, well, you're Superman. It's always the same.
Yeah, understand. We all did stupid things in our youth. The difference is we didn't do them too stupid because we wouldn't be here to talk about our youth if we did them really
lucky. We were very lucky.
Oh yeah, there's things, and of course, as a parent, there are things I did as a kid, and then I see my kid. Don't you dare do that!
Yeah,
I did that when I was your age, and I almost killed myself. Yeah, but you're still here. Shut up.
But model trains, like I said, model trains is a special. You have to be not be an engineer, not be a special craftsman. You can do it everything, but you learn a lot with it. And luckily, I must say, the people I always met in model trains were special people. Normally they have enough fantasy, enough reality in life that they know the difference between in all life situations, the difference between good and bad, and that's something I appreciated a lot of times. I cannot say the same with other people, but and we have one thing always too. I didn't knew until now. No one who does model trains that will give it up. You can sell a model here or then, but always with intention to buy a new one. That's normally it's normally you have an older model, you want a new one, okay, you sell the older one and buy the new one. But I never sold nothing, never ever. But I offered some things. I had, for example, I had the Bierwagen, a special edition, which was made by MG, the English car, MG in Germany, and I knew an old man who had MG, still an MG, a green one, convertible. And I offered him, he did trains also, and I offered him the Bierwagen with a MG emblem. And he was very happy about it. And sometimes I have, when I see that someone likes a certain piece more than me, then I'm always happy to offer it. But I never sold something. Even sometimes I look at something and say, "How could you buy that shit?" Sometimes it is, how was it possible to buy that shit?
We all have that. Anytime I see somebody driving a Ford, I go, "How could you buy that shit?"
I don't know if you offend someone. Well, luckily for me, I have no thought.
If they're offended, it's because they bought a Ford. And that's not my fault.
Randall, you don't drive a Ford.
I will sincerely apologize, Anthony, because I drive Fords.
Apology not accepted.
In all fairness, though, the 306 cylinders are really good engine.
Anthony, if you go down the street, you see a Sherman coming. It is a criminal.
Well, he can bring it, Sherman. I've got an M1A1 Abrams, so bring it on. And that's not even talking about the old Tiger 4 I've got in the garage.
My tank's bigger than your tank.
Sherman in front of me, he's dead meat. Now, if he gets a Sherman behind my Tiger, then we're in trouble.
Yeah, that's happened. All right.
Now I could go into a whole oddball. There's only one way you can.
Why don't you like Ford?
Because my last name is Dodge.
Okay.
Ford is the enemy of Dodge.
So, ready?
Ford.
Why?
See, there is a Dodge automobile company.
Yes.
Yes. And the two guys who started it, the two brothers who started it, were cousins of mine, but they worked for Henry Ford.
Oh, so,
They were his engineers. They designed his Model T and his Model A.
Mhm.
He didn't design it. They did.
No, he was a businessman.
He was a businessman, and he was a dirty businessman. But yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
oh absolutely. Ford was
Yeah.
a very dirty man. But anyhow,
But
one
the
day
car-
he got into a fight with his Dodges. He got into a fight with the Dodges. He says, "You sons of bitches think you can make cars better than me? Go start your own goddamn company." So they did, and within 5 years, they were outselling Ford.
But that's not Ford's problem, because Henry Ford was a businessman. He was not an engineer.
It doesn't matter. He's the enemy. We have been raised. You're lucky. You're lucky right now sitting in Portugal, because when I was a little kid, you could drive any type of car, but if you showed up in a Ford, if you came to the family reunions and you were driving a Ford or any German car or any Japanese car, you were chased out of the reunion. You could drive a Chevy, you could drive a Jaguar or anything else, that would be fine. They would question, why aren't you in a Dodge? But at least you wouldn't be chased out. You show up in a Ford, a Mercedes-Benz, a Toyota, and the family was on you. But times have changed. All those folks, except for me, I guess, are buried and dead. I'm sort of the last of the hardcores where but even my kids, that's too long a story, and I've already gone 45 minutes longer. But like my daughter-in-law, my son's wife, they're celebrating their year anniversary on Monday. Their first anniversary on Monday. Anyhow, when she got engaged with AJ, she said, "Do I have to buy Dodges?" And my two daughters looked at her and said, "What's wrong with buying Dodges?" And my son was like, no, you don't have to.
I don't know, but like you said, it seems that gypsies are nicer than your family.
Maybe.
I'm driving a Mercedes-Benz, an old one.
I ride in Mercedes-Benz a lot when I'm with friends in Germany.
Yeah, it's normal.
I'm really not that hardcore. It's a running joke. It is a running. Yeah, it's Witze. Always Witze. Just dirty trains.
No,
but I'm not kidding when I say the older generation. And you got to understand, some of that older generation were Germans. My grandmother, Dodge, she was Gitana Bogarter. She was born and raised in Germany.
Yeah.
And my Aunt Frida, my dad's brother's wife, she was in Berlin at the end of the war. She's one of the ones who escaped, but boy, I'll tell you, she hated the Russians. Woohoo! She hated Russians. That's all you need to know. She was from Dresden. They went to Berlin to escape the Russians, and then she got over to the West Side. And my uncle flew bombers, so my uncle flew bombers over Germany. But he stayed in the Air Force and stayed in Germany after the war. He helped do the Berlin airlift, the Luftbrücke.
Luftbrücke.
And that's where he met her. He met her. She was one of the girls working at Tempelhof, and he was flying the planes in. And he'd always bring her extra chocolate and peanut butter.
Love it fun side.
Yeah, nowadays you go, what, a Reese's peanut butter cup? But
Yeah.
extra peanut butter and chocolate to a starving Berlin girl?
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, that was the only other thing I suppose you could have brought at that time might have been nylons, but that's a different story. But anyhow, I have gone 50 minutes overtime here because first of all,
hey, time flies when you're having fun.
Exactly. I wanted to let Luma run with this. It was great to listen and get your views on things because it's usually me and Arty. And well, fortunately, Arty's not here. So,
yeah, kangaroo. He's chasing kangaroos.
But I put her. Oh, she's put away. I can't get her right now.
Kangaroos with skirts.
No, Arty's not that particular.
No. Yeah, you
Arty,
have to.
when it comes to kangaroos, Arty is on both sides of the street.
My adventures is because when I grew up with learning about the English humor, and every time we are talking about something, like you was talking about the family, I picture it in my mind how it would be. And now I grew up reading Mad magazine, Alfred Newman. And you have that pictures, and I remember that every time, and I picture it in my head when you were talking about your family and about the Dutch and father, and then I'm imagine when how I picture in my mind how we get it. That's I think that's very funny. Unluckily, a lot of people today have no fantasy, but okay, Bo, you have exceeded your time. Your wife will put you on dire straits. Yeah. The cats will.
If she's watching, hi, Joyce. Sorry, we can't be halfway past his bedtime.
I have a joke there, but I don't know how many people get it. He says, my wife will put me in dire straits. I said, yeah, because she is a Sultan of Swing.
That's a great song, by the way.
Yeah, no comment on that. One thing before you leave. Didn't you have figured out every time if you're down there are no cats in the basement, but when you are not down there, the cats come down. So you have to arrange something that will scare the hell out of cats when you are not down there.
The problem is the place where the cats are supposed to do their business is in there. So they have to be able to get down here because we used to have a gate up there to keep cats from coming down. But my wife decided that because we had their litter boxes in my son's room after he moved out. But we turned that room into an exercise room, and then we turned it into a bedroom again for when we have family coming to stay with us. So we had to find a place to put the cat stuff. So do you put it in? So it went down in there. So I have to let them. Every now and then, actually, even on this live stream, every now and then you will see a little black shadow right past. They'll just kind of, is he seeing me? Is he seeing me? In. But yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've come downstairs and the one is on the layout.
Yeah.
I want to throw something like your brush, but then I'd realize I'd hit something I built.
Try to hit something. Training does it all.
Even if I hit the cat first, it's going to ricochet and hit something else.
No, well,
Plus, those cats are shifty, man. You try to throw something at that cat, they're like, "Go ahead, motherfucker. Go ahead, throw it. See if you hit me."
But you can hit them. No, you can always put electric fence.
I am looking at electrical wire. The problem is I'm getting old. I might forget to turn it off myself and come down for the live stream and
Well.
What's going on with Anthony's live stream today? What's going on with Anthony's live stream today? I don't know. We turned it on. He's been sitting like this for 45 minutes. Is he dead? I don't know.
He's shining.
He was vibrating for the first 5 minutes, and then he stopped.
He took a Viagra. He sniffed out. Well, let's.
And on that note, good night, folks.
Yes. Randall, Nice
Yep.
to hear you.
Yeah, good to meet you in person this time, Luma. And
Yeah.
It was
thanks
great
for letting me
to have
come
you
on,
on.
Anthony.
This was awesome. You can take
Yes.
the show over. You did a great job, man. It was great having you on.
Well, thank you, but I do that only several times in a year, and that's enough.
Right.
Or it will come to be a habit and a job.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
nice to be retired. It's nice to be retired.
Yeah, but it was nice to see that a lot of people are still in the chat.
Yeah, you keep the entertainment going. They're happy. But yeah, it was awesome to have you on. I say that from the bottom of my heart. If you get even better, I'll say it from the top of my heart, because that's always another question. Why do we always speak from the bottom of our hearts? Why not the top? Because top would be your more full.
Yeah, but I have a problem. Simply, I have to do everything in free language. German, because the trains are from there. Portuguese, because I live in Portugal. In English, because I normally communicate most of the time with from Australia to United States, Canada, and because the Germans are
well, then just learn Chinese and piss everybody off.
Yeah, that's what we.
And you'll get a bigger audience. That's 1 billion people over there starving for attention.
I don't want a big audience. I do my YouTube. So if my cousin on Alzheimer one day will visit me, at least I have something to play up, and it will be new every day. So I can see how things I did, because if a problem is you go to a certain age and you start forgetting certain things, and that's terrible. And so I do my videos in free language. God forbid if I will forget English or German or whatever. You never will know what will happen. So I have these kind of films to.
Portuguese, I know. Obrigado.
Well, de nada. Well, have a good time. Have fun.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for the great chat. Randall, thank you for hanging out with us as well. And all of you.
Good to meet you, Luma.
For all of you
ciao.
stream,
Bye,
what
Randall.
the problems? There are better things to do in your life than to watch.
How the hell do I get out of this?
Computer screen. How do I get out of this? Well, there's a door just over that way.
And also watch this space. We'll figure out something for next week on the Wacky Weekend show. So,
or just keep. Yeah, I won't be here, people. So you get a break from me. I will be attending a funeral of my friend Fritz, who sadly didn't notice that somebody had set their hat in his chair, and he's never walked the same since. So.
Oh no, that did it. I like it.
Well, I could tell you about Heinz, but Heinz liked it. So that's.
Wow.
So yeah, if all else fails and you don't know how to get out, just keep hitting back.
You was just reminding me of that film from Mel Brooks. I think it was Mel Brooks when Hitler was going to. Yeah, I like it.
All right. So okay, everybody, take care. Take care.
See you guys.
We come up with another topic. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Steve.